All of us make choices in life and take steps to get us to where we want to be in our lives. And that is also the case when we want to achieve something professionally. You know, what do we want to work in? What do we want our vocation to be? So we make choices around that and we take steps to fulfill that. And for me, that started quite a number of years ago now, when I was working within an organisation where I had been really fortunate to be given opportunities to work in areas that I really enjoyed. So I was doing a lot of stuff with people. I was doing a lot of work around safety and business improvement, around the processes and systems that we use, but also doing stuff around teams and how they would work together, as well as dabbling in that leadership space that I spend so much time in these days. And when this all started, it came about because of what was happening in an organisation, lots of change, restructure, and there was someone who was at the head of that, and I do look at him as an informal mentor, if you like. And I actually did say to him one day, what do I have to do to be you? And part of that answer was actually studying. So going off and doing a degree. Now, I wasn't averse to that. I was actually quite keen to do that because there were some things that I was doing in the workplace that, yes, I'd been coached and I had been mentored by certain people around how to handle different situations or how to approach situations to get a positive outcome. But sometimes I felt like I was doing something just naturally, maybe. But I wanted to understand the theory behind a lot of stuff. And yes, I had been given that. I had attended different courses. But this opportunity to study and do a degree was much more involved, obviously, much more commitment to that. But it was really that strong need for me to understand the theory behind certain things. And I'm going to say that there were some things that I studied that I probably could say, yeah, I felt like I knew those things because I'd been exposed to them. But still, I was getting a deeper insight into things. So that's when I made the decision to do a Bachelor of Applied Social Science, specialising in management, with the Australian College of Applied Psychology. Now, they don't have that name anymore. It's something similar. But what I found really resonated with me was also the delivery. Because for me, it wasn't just about having that piece of paper. And because I'd been coached and mentored, there was a lot of practical experience for me. That's what also came through in doing this degree. There was very much that element of, yes, here's the theory around things, here's some really great reading material, some of which I still have to this day. But there was also that practical element to it, which was so important to me because, as one of my mentors would say, a piece of paper doesn't guarantee performance. And I'm sure we've all experienced that. And that's where I feel I was very fortunate to have the balance of, studying the theory at the same time as I was applying practically. And I was very fortunate in that, if I, maybe stuffed something up a little bit, I was in a safe environment where I could do that. So my degree covered a number of different subjects. Of course, it was all related to people. And as I said, it's social science, it's specialised in management. Sometimes I cringe a little bit about that because we need leadership and management. It can't be all or, one of the other. And so the things that I actually studied in that, there were actually aspects of leadership, definitely leadership subjects, some that were much more related to management and very much, human resources in that general aspect, things around, recruitment and induction, stuff like that I'd already had a lot of involvement in. There were also a number of counselling subjects, which at the time I kept thinking, why am I doing this? I am not going to be counselling anyone. Well, I actually have used those skills a number of times in the work that I do. There are obviously a number of uh, subjects around psychology, but there are also other ones that I really loved. Things around social research and cultural diversity and what else was there? Things around ambiguity and change. And social analysis and social policy. So those things were really interesting for me, and especially the social research, because I believe that I actually apply that a lot in the work I do, especially when I'm going in and doing, team reviews or situational audits of what's actually happening in an organisation. So those things are always applied. So, it took me some time to do this degree because I was working full time. There were a number of things that went on personally and professionally during the time. So it actually took me close to 8 years to finish the study. And I did have a little time off there at one point, actually, probably a couple of times for different reasons. Um, but I definitely enjoyed it. And I still believe it was worth it. Some people may not see it that way, but I still believe that it was worth the time and effort to do the degree because I suppose the way I look at it is, learning broadens our view of the world and those who are in it. And I think anything that can help us to balance things out more, see situations from different viewpoints, not only your own with your unconscious bias and whatever else may sit there, then it's a benefit, not only for us, but also those that we interact with. So if you're thinking about doing that extra study or actually starting on that path, research it well, understand what you really want to do, but enjoy the journey because it really is a valuable one.